Pakistan has proposed, as we mentioned earlier, a second round of talks between the US and Iran after last weekend's negotiations in Islamabad ended in a standoff. Yesterday, our EU editor Maria Tadeo spoke to President Donald Trump's former special representative to Iran, Elliott Abrams, and started by asking him what would constitute a good deal for the US in those talks.
The president needs to get a better deal than Barack Obama got in 2015 in the JCPOA, because he has reviled that agreement, the worst agreement in world history. So he's got to get better than that. That deal put off for maybe 10 years or so the Iranian nuclear program, but it said nothing about support for proxies, and it said nothing about the ballistic missile program. So I think Iran has got to be willing to give on those, or else the president will be forced to do something more. He's got now the blockade. What he has not done, and might be a next step, would be taking an island in the Persian Gulf. But again, I think for all sorts of obvious reasons, politics, the US economy, the elections in November, I don't think he wants to do that. The question, I think, is who's making decisions in Tehran, and how much flexibility do they have?
And that is a good question. So who do you think that person is? And of course, this is all playing out big time in the energy market.
Yeah, I don't think there is one person. There was in the late Supreme Leader. He could actually make a decision, one person, and make it stick. His son, who is now Supreme Leader, may even be in a coma. We don't know. Even if he is not in a coma, he's not able to enforce his rule. He's too new, too young. So I think it's probably a ruling group, a group of 3 or 5 or 7 or 10 people who sit at a table. Well, maybe they don't sit at a table because they're afraid a table will be hit by a bomb, but who talk to each other somehow and figure out how far can we go here. I think that's going to be a real problem.
Of course, there's talks now between the Israelis and the Lebanese government, too, when you talk about the proxies. What is the calculus that Israel is making?
The Israeli calculus, I think, is, look, they were attacked by Hezbollah. And the U.S. was in a war with Iran, not with Lebanon, and Hezbollah, presumably under instructions from Tehran, attacked Israel. So the Israelis are pushing back. The Lebanese government, the Lebanese army are doing nothing. So the Israelis are pushing back. On the Iran front, they will follow President Trump. That is, when he said—
If President Trump says that's a good deal, will they accept it? You believe they will accept it?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what makes you believe that?
Pardon?
What makes you believe that? There's many who think Israel will still want to continue.
Yeah, they may still want to, but they won't. They have a very close relationship with the United States under President Trump. Netanyahu and Trump have a close relationship. In the 12-day war last June, when Trump said stop, they stopped. And I think they will here, too.
We've heard now the U.S. president repeat it multiple times. NATO did not help. NATO countries say this is a defensive alliance. He keeps saying NATO and the Europeans in particular, it's a paper tiger. What ramifications in the medium term is this going to have?
On the medium term, I would take to be 3 years, meaning the Trump years. He's got 3 years to go. The relationship is not going to improve much. He won't get out of NATO. I don't think he has the ability to get out of NATO legally. Under U.S. law, it takes more than a year, and you need Congress. But the relationship is clearly weakened. To me, the real question is, who is our next president, and will he try to rebuild that relationship?